before y'all close, after y'all come out of session. Yes, sir.
Okay, executive session is now closed. Ms. Steele?
Need a motion and a second to go back into.
We'll come out of the executive session. Second. Enter back into regular session.
Okay.
All in
Mr.
favor?
Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Silver?
Present.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Hobbs?
Yes.
Mr. Marshall?
Yes.
Mr. Fowler? Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
You have a quorum.
Okay.
You said yes, you just couldn't hear.
You said you wanted a moment to talk
Yes,
about...
sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Hoffman. Mr. Hess and I would just like to address everybody on a happy development item, I think. We just wanted the citizens to know, and I know they've been concerned about the ballpark issue, Mr. Lawson, and what that means. We had an interesting situation where you have two real important things that we all identified during the transition period with your help too, that we want to move the city to. We talk about marketing, Myron, and that is economic development for our hospitals, which is we know and have identified as being probably the principal important thing to us other than manufacturing and distribution, versus ballparks, recreation. And we know that recreation is in and of itself economic development. Indeed, it produces millions of dollars every year. And Jody White has worked on that for many years, so we know all of that. We had a situation where we want to foster Cabrini's expansion, and at the same time, that expansion under a plan or a proposal submitted to us called for the loss of some or a significant amount of, people argue about whether it's green space or ballpark space, whatever it is, it's space that has been designated for kids to play and so forth for years. We're happy to report to you that shortly after that, Mr. Hess, and I have to give him credit for it because he woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning and called me and said he had a solution. I think it's actually a solution, and it's made us happy, and he's been working with Eric Duck, who is the acting city engineer, and they've done a great job. We wanted to make sure the process went through and that Cabrini had a fair share of time to submit its proposal, Mr. Marshall, and you have folks around that district as well, and that we all looked at it fairly and allowed everybody to say what they needed to say. We are happy to report right now that while nothing is finished, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hess, we believe that there is a solution, and we'll come to the council at some point with that and allow you to do a resolution that allows us to move forward with it that does not involve 1 inch of the space across Texas Avenue from Cabrini, and allows their expansion to occur, maybe even in a better way, just by putting some heads together. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hess. I wanted the people to know that. I think that's going to make a lot of folks happy. I can kind of hear some clapping and ringing in the Garden District area of Mr. Silver. So that's a real good thing and a good positive note to end on today, Mr. Hess.
Thank you, Mayor. The solution to this situation was to look at the existing footprint of the hospital and also the footprint of the property that they own, specifically along Prescott. When you look at the corner of Prescott and Texas, you will note that there's a number of large parking areas that are directly across from the hospital. My thought is that there's the location for the medical office buildings, and so they needed 30,000 square foot facilities along with parking. And prior to my coming here, I came from commercial property management, which had a specialty in medical office buildings and hospitals, so I had some experience in design prior to coming to the city. The idea is to put parking on the first floor, second floor, or both, and then build up from there. And I had our engineering department take a look, and it was agreed to that it would fit. Then I approached Stephen Wright at Cabrini, and we reviewed the project together, my solution for him. And they liked it very much so, and they had their architect engineering firm, Mr. Mercado, take a look at it, and he concurred that it would indeed work, with the exception that his report on the number of parking spaces has not come back yet. It's due to be back in, well, today, tomorrow, something like that. So, but in speaking with Mr. Picado, he felt that that would indeed work as well. Want me to talk about Prescott? Okay.
I think we need to go ahead and put it all out there and let people start thinking about it.
The other reason that it became obvious there would be a solution is that Cabrini Hospital owns a considerable amount of property along Prescott. In fact, there's only a few homes
two
that
houses,
are existing that they do not own. So it occurred to me that, as what was done with Rapides, and that we could be able just to vacate Prescott, and or a portion of it, I should say, from Texas to Cabrini Avenue. I believe it'd be right on the other side of the existing parking garage. Two homes that would be affected would have to be they'd have to turn right instead of left towards Texas, but you can access Texas through that development and also directly to MacArthur. And then the hospital, as an option, could build a elevated walkway from the hospital directly over to the new medical office buildings. And,
Which would not cross a state route at Masonic and have to be so stretched out right now.
And so there's room for two 60,000 square foot facility, you know, and parking is there now. And it doesn't solve the forever growth of Cabrini, but it takes away the issue at hand. So we're waiting to hear back from Mr. Picado on the parking report, and I would say we'd probably be able to come before council in about 2 weeks to take the appropriate measures.
We just wanted you to all look at it and just take a look.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. House.
Harris, thank you. It sounds like it sounds like you learned that at Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I happen to know the guy who ran it because his daughter married my nephew.
No, I learned a few things up in PA.
Since the mayor kind of leaked it earlier today, maybe talk about the incubator next meeting.
I feel that I could talk about that next week. Not this week, but next week. I feel that we could unveil that, yes, indeed.
I just wanted to say that Cabrini never made a firm offer to the city to do anything.
That's right.
And we have continually worked from the administration standpoint on trying to help them solve their problems. I think that our people came up with a tremendous solution that satisfies everybody and all concerns. And I just want to say how much I appreciate y'all working on this endeavor to make it happen. And I think it's an excellent solution that will impact the fewest number of people. And I just
we
want to
don't
say,
know, Mr. Fowler, if it's all done. I don't want y'all to think that. We don't know how y'all
I
feel.
think it's a solution.
It's just a place to start.
Yeah.
I think it's a solution.
Well, one of those two houses is in the name of Chuck Fowler, so it's
Excellent.
Thank you. This meeting adjourned.